welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. It's Monday night, Medium Project Monday. So, hope you all had a good weekend, a good Easter. We're going to kind of be working with a new Medium project tonight. I'm not going to, really doesn't have a name per se because I haven't seen anything like it, and I actually don't even know if it's going to work. We're just going to we're going to see a bunch of, this is actually the old stock of some stainless steel ring, 4-inch rings that I got probably 5 years ago now. I got 50 of them custom made, and I used them for a little bit, but they gave me problems. I'd pull out a couple, I'd do a few things, and it'd be okay, and then I'd go to do the same thing again with them. And for some reason, it wasn't working. It was like I'm using the same ring count, same ring size, same everything. It wasn't working. And so I at the time, this was probably about 2 years ago now, I realized I'd pulled out a couple and actually had a couple that were broke. Let me go ahead and flip cameras here. And, top, yeah. I gotta pick the right one. But they ended up breaking on their welds. These I might be able to fix. I got a big lump on one side, but hardly anything. Almost a good straight cut on the other side still. And then they were supposed to be 4-inch inner diameter. And they were way off sometimes. All these are 4-inch. I kind of spread them out into a few different piles. This is the pile of not straight welds. I mean, just horrible. Off to the side. I had a group of those. I used about 20 of them. I did a few times. I'd pull out a couple and then I'd just throw a couple back because it was either broken or they were off weld. And so I stopped using them. And I'm going to use up a few for this project just because they were inconsistent. Even though they all look pretty similar, these are supposed to both be 4 inches. You can almost see it within the picture that they're not quite the same when they can fit through each other. They're not quite the same, and all of these would fit through here. Out of the largest ones I have, these will fit through, but snugger. They're a little tight right at the meeting point, but they still fit through. So I had a variety of sizes. The only reason I ended up talking about these tonight was because when I decided to pull them out, I wanted to go through them. I was going to pull the ones out that need to be either fixed, tossed, not be able to use for something. These are going to be more of my one-off things, the new supplies that I get, much more consistent in their size. But I don't know if the camera will be able to pick this up or not. But this is one of the 4-inch rings I got in this bunch. And I guess they ran close to wire at the end trying to make up this custom order. And decided just to use a bunch of welded wire chunks together to make one ring. I'm going to get some pictures of this and post it, but it's funny to me. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 welds on this. With basically this is 1/2, 3/4 of a ring, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chunks of little pieces of metal to make up the ring. In all honesty, it's not a bad job for what they were doing when you compare it to rings that were off welded or broken because they weren't welded good enough. But this ring just totally cracks me up whenever I notice that today. I hadn't pulled it out yet, and when I happened to just pull them all out, because like I said, I had 50 of them. I used about 20 of them in other projects. Probably another 5 in a few other things. Unrelated to chainmail, they just ended up working. Now those, I did try to grab more of those that were like this, that were off, since I wasn't using them in chainmail. That was the other 5 that I used were just like these. And I had one that wasn't off side to side, but up and down. Not real bad, but noticeable enough. And I mean, you can see on these, the sizes is crazy too. I mean, they're just totally different ring sizes. We're supposed to be all the same, so I've gone to another place now and using them. I'm going to use these, like I said, in one-off projects, but I don't want to do anything spectacular per se with these, because if I do, and I try to get ring sizes that are proper, and it doesn't work, it'll frustrate the crap out of me. So, I'm just going to move these up over here for now. That's what still cracks me up. I'm hoping I can get some good pictures of that, because that is the funniest thing to me that I've ever seen. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I could zoom in, maybe on the white background, maybe we can see it a little bit better. All the different weld marks going around this thing. Like I said, you know. And I mean, if you've been here before, I don't want to bash a supplier, but yeah, that's just hilarious to me. So I did pull out a little group of ones that were approximately the same size. They're a little bit different, but closer to what I'm looking for. So that's what we're going to be working with. And really tonight is going to be more in a way of testing to find out what's going to work, to be honest with you. I have this idea in my head for what I'm going to do. I guess I should zoom back out, or you guys will be watching the corner of nothing. Need a little remote for mine too, kind of like Sean's got. But we're dealing with 10-year-old camera here, so you got to do what you got to do. But we're just gonna go ahead and get started here. Where we at? Took us a little bit to get in there, so it's gonna be kind of like we're gonna weave it in a 4-in-1 style, Dreamish catcher style weave, but I need to make it loose for what will happen later on with it. Like I said, it's going to be trial and error. I might have to pull some rings out at some point if it's not working the way I want. Like I said, I have no idea. Let me 4-inch ring. Going through my head, what do I normally, if I'm going 3/8? Anywhere from 19 to 21, depending on. So let's go with. I do want it to be loose, so let's go ahead and try 21. We'll start with 21. See what happens there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and 21. Then I won't have to count. We'll just start plugging away here. Well, I think hopefully everything's going good. I was having a slight camera issue before I started streaming tonight. Kept getting the camera kept kind of blinking out where it'd show the colored stripe screen and stuff, and I'm not exactly sure. I changed out the cord real quick and it seemed to go away, so hopefully that's not a problem tonight. If it is and I'm not catching it, let me know. A lot of things I'll miss whenever I'm in the heart of doing this stuff. So but I'm hoping everything's going to go well for the stream tonight. It was kind of a weekend. Our son is still in the hospital. He's had to be in there when he went in since Wednesday last week. Kidney issues, kind of going through the same protocols as they went through when he went into kidney failure. The last time he still has kidney work, but things aren't looking all that great for it right now. It looks like his autoimmune disease could possibly be coming up, flaring up. So he's definitely hoping he'll come home tomorrow. He'll have a week of going there every other day. Possibly a couple days in a row. If they do, I know he's ready to. He's done. He is so done. I don't blame him. I understand. But right now, I mean, it's not looking great, but it's not the worst news ever. So it's like to follow along with this year going as planned. Got quiet out there. Dog stopped barking. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to hear a lot of dog barking on the stream tonight. And daughter is finally getting rid of her old car. Her old Taurus died, when was it? Back in October, November? I think it was October, because she was using her van a lot, and there's a lot of times where I had a lot of band events going on, we were conflicting. But it's just sitting, so she finally basically sold it tonight, and I guess they might be done, actually. They were out there making all kinds of noise while I was trying to get ready for the stream. They had a flatbed trailer out there with a winch and stuff to put it up on there. Dogs next door were going crazy. But, yeah. Her first car has gone bye-bye. Be good to kind of get some of the space back here. And hopefully we're going to get a few other things done. Not necessarily the way I want to, but with what we can handle and everything like that. If we do, it'll definitely open up and free up some things. There's one thing I don't necessarily like about it, but we'll see what happens. We're going to hope for the best anyway. I kind of had a cruddy weekend in a way myself, just because I had a stomach problem again. I need to get back on my probiotics, I guess. The doctor told me I should take them years ago, and I was taking them for a while. Past year, I kind of ran out once, and I didn't re-buy them, and so I had taken them about a year. And I don't know, here the last couple months, it's just been kind of crazy. So, all right. Gives me an idea, but boy, it would be a super ring hog. But it would be cool. Alright, let's see. If I'm going 21, we'll need at least one more row this size ring. At 21, yeah. Alright, so I guess I don't need to count these. We'll just work around till we get them closed. Alright, so off we go on to the next jaunt. Row 2. This one's just going to be a purple one. I have an idea where I could do some designs in this, but I was like, I don't want to make it not necessarily overly complicated for the first one. I want to make sure the rings are going to work the way I want them to before I start doing it. And I was going to do it in just bright aluminum. But when I started thinking about it, it's like, well, anodized aluminum's always got a little different tolerances, even in between colors. So I was like, well, why don't I just grab a color, do it in a color, see how it works. If I can get it to work in a color, I can normally get it in bright aluminum to work if I need to. We're going to see how it goes. Alright, get back over there. Yeah, I probably should have grabbed a piece of tape, taped that one down. Where I started, I think I might still do that. Let me grab this tape. Okay, if I can keep this one in its boundaries here. Flip back over, flop down. Just enough to kind of keep it in its general area. That'll help with the rest of these as I pull and stretch it down, because I don't want it to make it. Normally when I do something like this, I'd want to keep tightening it up all the way around, try to get as tight as I can. This actually, when I'm working in, I want it to start drooping down. I want it to kind of come down, and not in a V shape per se, but if you get the idea. I want to have droop. If my math is correct, I need to have about 1.5 inches of droop from the top of the ring to the bottom of the rings once I'm done filling in my center. If it works out properly, that is. If it works out properly, we'll see how that goes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so we'll see. And like I said, I might have to come through and make some ring size changes, and see what I might like better. And right now I might have to, I like to normally go in odd numbers whenever I do something like this, so if I have to do any contractions, it leaves me on an odd number also. Just seems to be better in most things that I've done anyway. Even number, sometimes it's hard to split an even number. If I need to do a split, if I need to do an even split, it's okay, but normally when you're using contractions or expansions, you're not going to have necessarily always an even split, so I normally just work it that way and go with it. But and also the van is hopefully fixed. Ended up looking at it closer last week, and it's getting looked at right now, but it looks like somehow or another we lost the caliper bolt. So the caliper was coming off the rotor, and it was the top bolt. So the top of it was wanting to go, and it was starting to grind on the inside of the wheel from rubbing on that. So should be a somewhat of an easy fix. I actually already have a pair of rotors to go on the back of the car. That's not necessarily needed right now. They're getting close. Figured on the next change we'll just go ahead and do it. I went ahead and got them. So, alright. So right now I've got it fairly snug and tight, but like I said, when we get done I do want it to be loose. Almost. I don't think I want it to be able to spin on itself where it can spin all the way around, but I think I definitely want it to be pretty close to that, because when I add the third layer, we're going to go down in ring size. That's going to start tightening it back up. So I've got to make sure I have a plenty loose to begin with, and that's where I might have to come back and maybe add another ring into it, make it 22. Well, like I said, I'm at 21 right now, and that might not even be right. We'll see once we get there, because I've used 19 quite often when I really want it super tight. Oops, I've had a few where I've needed 20 because of the ring size differences, and I don't think I've ever had to go 22. I guess it's 24 to 25 whenever I do square rings, because everything's just a little more tied up with the square rings. Move on up here. Now this I'd be doing this totally different if it wasn't for the stream. I'd hold this all in my hand and be just working on it right in my lap, kinda. So it's a little different doing it this way. For the stream, slide on up there. And this would be the basic way of how you would make most stream catchers, depending on the ring size you want to use. And I've used basically almost every ring size. I mean, 1 inch up to in 1 inch up in 1 inch increments up to 18 inches. 1 to 18 inches, I've used every size up to there. At 18, and then I've jumped to a 24. But I will say, if you're going to wrap your main ring, your outer ring like this, you can use and go to a what do they call this place? I guess a lampshade store online where you can buy lampshade supplies. They have all kinds of crazy rings, man. Some places even have more crazier ones than others. Some of them have some square ones, and I actually do have 2 square rings myself that I plan on working on at some point. But it depends on what you're looking for. They have some basic ones that are just basic metal. Nothing special, and those are great if you plan on wrapping your ring. And I like to wrap my rings just because it adds more color to it. It's not needed. I have made several that are just stainless steel. You know, silver, just basic, nothing to them. And then I use there's two places, lampshade stores that I go to and order for most of my stuff. I have another one that a little more expensive, but they have some odder stuff. But they also have good bright rings too. Most of the time they don't have to be, because you're going to wrap them if you're making a lampshade with the cloth or the boarding stuff they use to make lampshade. It's going to cover it all, so they don't have to be that great. And so I wrap them. They're nice, cheap, easy, and I'll tell you what, much more accurate than a lot of things that I've gotten. Now, other rings, I still buy some nice bright silver. I bought some nice bright gold, just to have and use. And they're a little thicker. But, I mean, you can get different wire thicknesses over at the lampshade stores, too. But, and I will say, they're maybe not cost effective if you're only buying one or two sized rings. But, man, if you put in, and I think my minimum order, I think, is I'm normally getting several 6, several 8, normally 10, a 10-inch. So I'm probably getting about 5 of each of those. And then I normally will throw in a couple odd shaped ones. I actually have a triangle one also. And I'll grab these are just basic rings that they put at the bottom of the lampshade. Your top ring always has the cross members to put it on the lampshade, onto the lamp itself. And I bought a few of those in those same shapes, because I've done a lot of lampshades, so I've got a plan for that, so I've got those. But if you put in, 20, 30 rings at a time, shipping's not too bad, and it ends up equals out to be okay per ring. If you're only wanting one or two, I don't know if it'd be necessarily worth it, unless you live in town where you have a lamp shop. I haven't actually looked in our area to see if we have one around here that I could go to. I found those places online a while back, and I just kind of have used them since, but I probably do need to see if maybe I can find somebody local, because then I could probably get more things, even maybe custom made if it's a good place that makes them, not somebody that just sells parts that they buy from other places. So, and there's the daughter. How long ago did you post? Hopefully I didn't miss it too long. Taurus is gone. I was just talking about the Taurus. I figured it must be, it got quiet out there. There's a lot of noise right before the stream, and I thought I was going to hear dogs barking and chains rattling around for a while, and then it got quiet, so. Alright, so let's see here. I need to take the tape off that. But yeah, that was her first car is now gone. The love of the first car. I remember my first car, so. Who doesn't remember their first car? You hated it, but you loved it. But I think you like your new car better, so. Come on, tape. It's one reason why I do hate using tape sometimes, when I double over wrap it. I'm going to have to still just sort this thing out by the looks of it. Come on, come off there. I just rattled everything around, so. Now I got a little shard of tape on me. It's like a splinter, a tape splinter. Alright, we got it pretty decent there. And so I just need one more ring right through there. So it looks like it might be loose enough. We'll see once we get this one in. This one will keep it all together from going too wonky. So let's see here. Yeah, it's not quite going all the way down. I definitely don't think I can flip it. Yeah, it won't flip on itself. It's not actually too bad right there. And that was 21. So like I said, it's definitely loose. If I was to pull it on one on one side, I mean, it's, I probably could have gone probably 2 less. Probably would have been 19 if I wanted it to be tight. Alright, so that's 2 rows. Let's go ahead. If I go 2, that'd be 4, that'd be 6. Let's go ahead and try 2 rows of 5/16 here next. But, is the daughter still here? We have to talk about our ice cream challenge. She said I have to talk about it during the stream. I kind of mentioned it last week in one of the streams. She had found the Little Debbie's ice cream mix things they put out for like their honey buns, their Swiss rolls, etc., etc. She bought up all but one, and we've been trying them almost every night. And talked about the honey bun not being really honey bunny. To me, it was more like a pecan roll, pecan swirl. That's what it reminded me more of than a honey bun. Still good. I still have it. One that I was just a review. The one that I was really hoping would be good would be the nutter bar, the nutty bar, and that was just kind of awful. Did not care for it at all. Oatmeal cream pie was, I think, the third one we tried, and it was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm not a huge oatmeal cream pie fan, but it was pretty good. At that point in time, I think it was the closest to the actual snack item flavor-wise, until the last one we tried was the Swiss roll. And oh man, that thing was good eating, man. It tastes like a Swiss roll. It had nice little chunks of cake in it. It was not. It was actually probably the first one that I was looking forward to trying in a way. And so far, it's been the best. And the one that I wanted to try the best, hoping for the best, ended up being the worst. I don't know what to do. So we've still got zebra cake, and then she's got to go try to find the cosmic brownie. Those are the only two we haven't tried yet. But overall, they've been interesting. With the Swiss roll, yeah, I definitely like that Swiss roll one. I was quite surprised. I know the daughter wasn't happy when she popped the top off. She was like, I mean, I don't know what she was expecting, but she didn't buy the cosmic brownie because it was chocolate. She's not a huge chocolate fan. I'm not a huge chocolate fan myself, so. She opened up the Swiss roll, and it was just a big old thing of brown chocolate. You know, she was like, but I think she ended up liking it too, so. I think we're kind of been in agreement on most of them. Cosmic brownie, yes, those two, yeah. I do like the zebra cakes in a way, but those are something I don't like to have them very often. I put them, well, I almost want to put them in the realm of a gag me a poo, but not really, because gag me a poos I could eat and eat. Zebra cakes I can't eat and eat, but they got kind of an odd thing, so I'm almost in a way now looking forward to trying zebra cake. I don't know if we're going to try that one tonight or not. Are we trying the zebra cake tonight? Oh, I forgot to get my music going tonight. Duh. So, let's see here. Now, see, I plan on making up several of these. I don't know if I'm going to do 4 or 6 of these yet. I'm going to do them in different colors. Like I said, I think if it works out, eventually I could put some designs into these with some color layout. Just got to make sure it's going to work first. Going to use a lot of rings, though. It's going to be a mighty object, kind of. I don't know exactly how I want to... Nobody knows what a gag me a poo is. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Gag me a poos. There's some type of... Oh, I got a thing pop up on me here. Oh. Yeah, he might be busy. John's sending me a message. But he's not in the stream. At least I don't think so, but who knows. Anyway, Gag Me Poos. They're like a strawberry roll. I actually don't know what the name of these things are. It started years and years and years and years ago. Moved down to Mississippi for a little bit. Plant where I was working. They had the food truck come by every day. And lunchtime, you go grab something off the food truck. And they had these strawberry roll things. They had a name, and I found them at the store. But while we were working, I kept buying these things. And they were really good, but really rich. It's the strawberry shortcake rolls. That's its actual name. I wasn't even sure. But there's a guy I worked with there, and we were buying them at lunch, and he was like, man, these are good, but man, they are rich. Oh, and we just kind of nicknamed them Gag Me Poos because of, you take a bite and you almost get a tartness to it because I guess the strawberry shortcake style of it. And it kind of makes you pucker a little bit, and we just kind of nicknamed them Gag Me Poos, and that's what I've just always called them. When I go buy them, I see the picture, I don't even know what they were called. They've just always been Gag Me Poos to me. How does it... Yeah, actually, I'm sorry, it took us a few seconds for my closed caption to catch up. Sometimes I like watching what it'll type up, but it put in Gag Me Poos. It spelt it, and sometimes it gets words way off, but sometimes it surprises you. That's why sometimes I like throwing in weird words, or you hear me just kind of leave a globble, just to see what it will put in there. Because I'm weird that way. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I'm a weirdo. My kids will attest to me being a weirdo. But I haven't been too weird. At least I don't think so. I could be weirder. I mean, you've seen all those things where the dad dresses up for kids going to school every day. And I didn't go too cuckoo for y'all. But I am a weirdie. I would admit it. Hopefully I'm in camera view here, so yeah. Not paying attention. It's kind of a long weekend, but too many bathroom trips to count, and I pulled out the right amount of rings for that. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully things will get better this week, and come on, get up through there. There we go. Now let's see how much drop we got now. If I can get a hold of it without... So getting a little bit in there. Just touching. I'd say I'm probably about a half an inch of drop in that. Like I said, if I was to do a normal one, I'd probably take out 2 and make that much, much tighter. But I'm wanting the drop in this. Kind of almost what I'm going for in a way, even though it's not going to be like a basketball hoop. How, it's at the ring, but it kind of comes in real quick and then kind of goes into tubular form. It's kind of what I'm looking for, but in a shorter fashion. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with one more row of this. I'm afraid if I put in the 1/4 inch right now, it'll tighten it up too much and start, and I definitely want it to have some more drop. So we're going to add in another row. What time we at anyway? 35 minutes almost, so doing good. Making progress, starting with nothing, and really even less time working because we chatted there for a while. So I do want to thank everybody for joining us. If you're watching us live or if you're watching us later, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the likes, get the shares, do all that good stuff. Always helps let people know we're out here doing stuff. Some nights we have some bigger group of people. Some nights a little less, but it's all good. Whatever works for you. But we do stream 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central. Monday night, like tonight's Medium Project night. Wednesday night is small project night, and Thursday is large project night. Thursdays is normally some type of inlay project that I'm currently working on, and on Wednesdays, try to do something we can finish up and stream, and bracelet, keychain, sometimes a small necklace. Sometimes we don't quite get it done, but a good portion of it gets done. So you have to check those out. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share, give us a, whatever you can give us. Just let everybody know we're out there. We do giveaways sometimes, so don't forget to keep coming back, checking out what's going on. We just got past our year of live streams. Had our year anniversary a couple weeks ago. Gave away a few things. So we're actually trying to get up to 500 likes now on Facebook. But you can follow us on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. Thought about adding another couple places, but I think if I'm going to add any more, I need to go to some type of restreamer system that I can send the stream to one and it gets shot out to all the others instead of doing it myself. It would definitely make it easier than what I currently have to do, trust me. If I get everything and all my comments into one little general area, it'd make it a lot easier than what I have to do looking at all the different windows I currently have going. But I did get some more band stuff done this weekend too, a little bit. Got a test piece of laser box for what they're thinking about doing for the seniors. Got that done. Got some other graphics made up so that I can do some laser work tomorrow. I'm currently set up. Actually, I'm kind of set up for both. I can either do wood or metal tomorrow. It's kind of in between, so it really wouldn't matter which way I decided to go. I actually don't have any orders that I have to process tomorrow. So it could be a somewhat easy day, but probably be a good thing if the boy ends up getting out of the hospital tomorrow, that I kind of take up part of the day dealing with that. So it'll probably work out pretty good that way if he gets out. Maybe that's why I don't have any orders, because the cards knew that I would be busy. We'll see. I hope. I know he's ready to go, like I said. I feel sorry for him. He's kind of lost his 20s, and now having to deal with it again just as things were starting to not necessarily look up, but starting to get to that point. It was like, 3 years after transplant, they're normally feeling pretty good. We were just get close to 2.5, and it was like, okay, things, I think we're getting ready to get back to hit the downside of that silly roller coaster that never stops. There might be a little pause here and there while you're going up a hill going, this feels good, and then next thing you know, Alrighty here. A few more. See how much drop we have on after this. And then see how many more rows I'm going to add to it. Because everything I'm doing, I need to try to keep to a certain size also. And that'll all come into play, like I said. Once we get a little bit more into this, well, it's not going to necessarily have a name, so once I start really getting into the nuts and bolts of the inner workings of it, I think you'll be like, okay, that's different and kind of hopefully cool. I'm hoping for a cool factor to come into play here. It's something I've been thinking about for a little while, and I was like, I just need to try it because it might not work at all. Who knows? The thing is I'm going to have to build quite a bit of stuff before I even will find out if it's going to work or not. That's why I have actually put it off for so long. Because it's like, it could work, and if it works, it would be cool, but there's a lot of build time getting to that point where you don't know how it's going to work. So, let's see here. And we're a little bit higher. I don't think we're quite up to 1/2 inch. we were at what, a quarter earlier, so we're going down a little bit. If I pull, I'm afraid if I go already down to a 1/4 inch here, that's going to put me, it's going to really start to tighten that up. Right now our opening is at about 1 3/4. And does it open up more when I lift up? Yes, so it's a little bit more than that. Let me look here. It comes down, there's barely any overlap. This has a little bit of overlap. Let's see here. I think we're going to go ahead and try. The thing I don't like about my purple is when I get down to my smaller sizes, it gets a deeper purple. But in a way, that could be kind of cool with how this is going to be. But that's what I don't like, you know. I don't know if the larger size purples are now more of the vibrant purple than this, than their older purple used to be. I need to order some more and see which variety I'm going to get. It's going to be the deeper, cooler purple or more this. This was okay as a purple, but the newer purple is just really cool. And it's not the violet purple, the electric violet. So let's go ahead and try to put in a few of these and see if it's going to pull it tighter or will it give me enough room to be a little looser. Because I definitely don't want it to tighten up. I think actually that might be alright, actually. Actually. Can I say it more times in a row? I could, but will I? I will say it was at least pretty decent out today. I think we got up to about 60, sunny. Did a few little things outside today, but glad that the weekend is now over. And counting days, the boy would come home. And I mean, he helps out around the house. I've had to do a lot more stuff here around the house too without him being here. So that's not why I want him back here though. But it is nice to have the help. But he won't be able to help for a little while after everything he's been going through anyway. So do need to get out and figure out. I'm going to buy a new riding lawnmower. One we have kind of went out last year. I can't really complain about it though. We had it for about 5 years. Bought it used. The thing is like 20 some odd years old. When we got it, it had an oil leak in it, so I was constantly putting oil into the thing. But overall, I mean, it worked great for the 5 years that we had it, 5.5-ish years that we had it. And it probably, if it had a little more TLC to it, probably get it going a little bit longer. But it's not too big. It's one I don't want to get anything bigger than it, but there are some that are a little bit smaller I think would work better for us because we don't have a huge lawn, but I mean it is, I think we're on 1/3 of an acre, so it's not huge. Hand pushing it is just not really an option, but I also don't need one of those giant, mowers. They have some of those zero-turn ones that are really cool looking that I wouldn't mind having, but price-wise for our lawn, I just don't know. So I'm looking for kind of not super cheap, but something that'll at least get the job done and be reliable. Because at the end of last year, we ended up hand mowing the rest of last year, and it took forever. It was normally a 2-day job because now for my push mower, instead of using gas one, I do have a battery powered one, which I actually love. But if you need to mow the whole lawn, no. It just, the batteries won't cut. If I had more batteries, you could get it all done, but you have to stop and charge, cool, etc. but it works great for as an add-along to do the cut in, the little places where the other one doesn't. It's nicer to have that because you don't have to have it always running while you're going around places. It's not real wide, it's kind of smaller. So I thoroughly do enjoy the electric mower, hand push mower we have, but not as a full lawn mowing thing. It's just too much. So got to have some type of rider. Talked to the wife last year about it, and so I've been kind of giving those little look-sees online, trying to figure out if I find one I might like and find a good price and all that. So I'm not going to willy-nilly just jump into one. I'll research it for a little bit, but it is something I need to get going because I was out there today and I noticed I almost need to mow. We had no growth of anything anywhere, and then we had a bunch of rain there this past week and a half, and everything has just kapow. We had that 180s day. We got up in the 80s. And the next day, it was like, okay, that felt good, and we're going to grow now. Poof. Here you go, mow us. Here you go, trim us. I was like, not already. I thought I was going to get a little more time, but I should have known. Happens every year. I always get behind at the start of the season because I'm dealing with DVDs and stuff for the band. Gets me behind on getting the lawn up before it gets overtaking, but it always ends up winning, and then I have to battle it all summer. I hate battling it. That's why I want to just take it all up, put down some AstroTurf, give me some rubber trees, so they don't de-leaf and they're still leafy in the wintertime. And so, like I said, none of the leaves in our yard come from our own trees, so all our trees where they're on the south side of the property. So when we get those north winds coming in, when they start falling, blows them away from us. We get everybody else's leaves from down the street. Just at the right angle. How this whole neighborhood has slight slope, from up across the street from us. They're slightly higher than to us, and as to go back to people behind us, it's probably about a half a story drop every yard area for a little while. So, but we just happen to be in the right area. I'm sure other people have the same leaf issue we have, but I'm so tired of leaves. I hate leaves. I love looking at them in the fall, but I hate when they do fall. Gotta clean them all up. They would just kind of, disappear quicker. Be nice. Turn to dirt quicker. It was probably about 6 years ago when I had my inner ear issue one year, and so I got none of the leaves picked up that whole summer, and they just piled up in the corners, and they ended up turning to dirt. By the time I actually got to them, got some of it done that late fall, and then again in the spring. But yeah, that whole summer I could not do squat with them. Alright, that was one more. Where's our center at? Where are we at here? Width-wise? Well, we're still at 1.5 inches. I'm looking to get it down to about 1 inch. Want the center about 1 inch with about 1.5 inches drop. I don't know if I'm going to get. Let me see if I can get this one-handed without pulling on them, so I can get a better height measurement here. So yeah, that's still only 1/2 inch. This next row, though, the second one of these should really start bringing it down. So we're going to go ahead and do another row. Now, like I said, I might have to pull these out, and because I can't start this earlier. The only thing I can really do would be maybe do 2 3/8, 2 rows of 3/8, 2 rows of 5/16, is which is what I got now. Maybe do a third before I go down to the 1/4 inch, which is something I'll have to see. A lot will just depend, because it actually opens up more once. That's 1.5 inches. That's probably just over. But I can't go. I want it to get. I need to. Actually, where is 1.5 inches now that I'm thinking about it, so I get a better... Right now, all the math is there, but I haven't actually put it to use in what we're doing. So I need it to be here and almost touching in the middle. That makes me wonder now. Makes me almost want to pull out another color so I don't have to do too much and start on another color doing the same thing, but come in, maybe do one where I add 3 rows of 3/8 to begin with, then go to 5/16. I could pull all these out now and just add a 3rd row of 5/16, but I don't want it to be too open. I do want it to be kind of dense. So I almost don't want to do 3 rows on the outside. This is going to drive me nuts here. Figuring this out, because I definitely need it to make a pretty big, in a way, transition to 2B style. Sorry guys. Brain's thinking here. It's going into overdrive. Smoke starts rolling out the brain. We're okay unless I stop talking for about 5 minutes. If that happens, then worry. Okay, man. I hate to put another row 1/4 inch and then that be an issue. That's why I almost rather just pull out some more colors and do it again, because then it would let me know more without having to pull this apart. Because it could be possible that this is where I need to be, and just go with the next row of 1/4 inch and see what happens with it. Alright, scroodle it. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to another 1/4 inch, so we're going to be 2, 2, and 2. See what's happening. See how much of a drop we got after that point. I don't know what the math would be. I'm sure there's math problems you can figure out to figure out a droop with how much you're going, with how big outside is, but that's math beyond my realm. Somebody tells me how to do it and say plug these numbers in here, I can figure it out, but I need to know where I need to plug the numbers in. Otherwise, I'm just looking at it going A, B, C, D, yellow, green, brown. And now I know my alpha numbers. And the moon is made of cheese. I don't know if I mentioned the hat tonight. I am wearing a different hat tonight. I think this is the 4th hat now. Not counting, I haven't really counted my normal everyday Chiefs hat that I wear, or the normal other Chiefs hat that I wear for streaming. These are the others. So tonight is actually my youngest daughter's band's hat that they had back in 4 years ago. Hadn't worn it in a while. Seen it there and I was like, hey, I haven't worn that in probably 4 years. I get probably 3.5, because I think I did wear it 1 year after she graduated. We went to Gladfest. I was going there helping out the band that I'm currently helping out, and so I wore their shirt and Staley hat. I was a little mix of everything that day. It's like all I need is 2 other ones. It's like I needed I guess I would need, I could do pants of one of the other schools, but what would be the 4th thing? Hat, shirt, pants. Nobody's got shoes, but I guess it could be shoes. Their color. I guess I'd have to go Northtown's for shoe color. I'd rather have purple shoes than sky blue. I guess they do sky blue and baby blue. Baby blue, royal blue, sky blue is the other colors for Oak Park. But I was there supporting all the bands, so we videotaped them all that day. Normally do when it comes to parade, it's like I'll just sit here, I'll get all the bands as they come through, then I cut through backside, get to more of the end of the parade area, and try to get over there quick enough where I can get the first band again before the rest of them come through. Parades are always kind of crazy because I try to get them at the beginning, and then once they all get through, book it through to the other side. Snake Saturday, I think, is probably the worst because they're so spread out, and where the start and the end are, it's kind of a booger. Well, Gladfest, I guess, is now worse. Last time I really done the full Gladfest, you did a circle. You went out, you started in one place, you come back around, did a circle, came back to where you started, which was very nice. Now it starts and ends in two different spots, and as a helper, it kind of blows. As if you're with them at the beginning, you got to park over there, but then to get to the end, you got a mile and a half to walk to get over there if you want to be near the end. And then if you do that, then you've got to walk back, which then there's another half mile to another mile to get back to your car because you're already half mile to a mile away from the parade route as is. Parades, they do a lot of walking, for sure. Competitions, really, too, because I'm always going with them when they're doing certain things. Then I'm going back and watching other bands and the stands, just watching whoever's out there. Now with the drum line, they've been taking drum line. Flag Corps doing an indoor flag routine during marching competitions. So competitions have become a little bit hairy here recently too. So, where are we at anyway? I haven't even looked. Oh man, the last 20 minutes have flown by. We're at 56. So we'll at least get this row in. That'll make me decide more so if I need to remove these two. Maybe I'll start another one, see if I want to make that one change, see if that might help. Because I could, if I add on another row of 3/8, I could easily just take these off, bump them down, and just hook new ones up to the outside, which would make it definitely a lot looser. Using the same ring count. I could come through and just take out every other row here so that this disconnects and just add another whole row in there where I'm at 22. And maybe that's what I need to do. 22 is what you need to do. I don't know. Like I said, so I might actually kind of get this one to a point that it could possibly do what I'm wanting it to do, and then just work another color out and do some slight changes to it and see if it works out any better by the time it's done. Who knows? We'll just have to play and see what happens, I guess. Like I said, I haven't really done any like this R&D, research and development type thing in a while, and kind of missed it. And I can just kind of sit around and play with rings, try something. It does make the junk mail box get a little fuller. Unless I decide to pull all the rings out then and just put them back up. But, if this doesn't work one way, I do have a few other thoughts. Everything always has more thoughts while you're working on it going, I could try this, but to try that I have to do this. And sometimes, well, I've kind of got half of that. This and that and this and that. Which way are we going to go? I don't know. Alright, let's see here. How much droopage we getting now? It's definitely a bit more. Let me see here. Where'd my measure go? Our inside's sitting down though, as at our inch where I want to be, but it opens up a little bit once I do this. And that's taking us up, so that's almost a half an inch. And we're at roughly 3/4 of an inch. So I need it to be probably more than that already. But the next way, if I go with this same ring, or because that's two of those, I could go with the 18 gauge. But boy, that 18 gauge. All the way down that color? Yeah, it sure is. It's even different than the other two. This almost looks almost electric violet in a way. No, it's not, because Electric violet's a little more purpley, I think. So I guess I would... Yeah, I don't want to mix that. That's just too... There's a bit difference here, but it's more that, but just a darker shade. This actually just changes colors. It's not like a... Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that. So I'm not going to be able to use that. So that changes up strategies too. Well. What are we going to do here? Go another row, see what happens, I guess. 7/32, so it's not going to be much smaller than the 1/4 inch, but it is a little bit. I would need to go maybe 3/16. But if I go 3/16 now, it's going to open it. It's going to pull it tighter, and I need it to be more droopy. I know it seems odd and it looks a little weird right now, but if it works out the way I'm hoping, I think it will be cool. We'll see. We'll just have to keep playing and seeing. Looking at the video of it now, it looks weird. I don't get to watch it most of the time when I'm doing live. So, if I'm at 21, if I go another row that way, it's really going to go down, but then I'd probably need to add contractions into that last one. If I went every other, I can't take it down that much, so it'd have to be like every 4th one is a contraction. Sorry if my covering my face. I'm got these pictures in my brain flowing, thinking. Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and try one more. Put one more row in this. And then what I think I'm going to do next is grab a different color and do it slightly differently. Put in 3 rows beforehand. See if that helps any. And if not, maybe I'll do the next color and do it with an extra ring around the outside. So 21, do it as 22. So it'll actually give me more droop right off the bat. But I do need it to get tighter, which that's kind of why I'm thinking 3/16 might be something I need to go to also. So we'll have to play and see where we at here. We're just over our hour. So I'll go ahead and put in a few more rings here on this next layer, next level, next row, whatever you want to call it. Get in about 3 or 4 and I kind of get an idea of what it's going to kind of look like, if it's going to be too much. Because see, I could probably almost go 3 here, but again, I don't want it to be tight. It's got to have some give to it. So I did I go through 3? I sure did. Final closure. Thought that seemed awful weird already. A little bit more. There we go. Alright, now let's try. We'll go this route. It'll be easier than trying to pull up underneath that. Because this could give us... This one will probably give us our biggest amount of drop. Because there'll be no pulling together. It's more just going to be hanging from the other one. The row before had a little bit of still pulled together. And see, these are going to be awful tight coming together, and I got to have that inch in the middle when it is stretched. And I just don't know. These might be too big. I might need to go to 3/16 inch right now, because at 3/16 I wouldn't be able to for sure be able to do contractions and put 3 in them. But this might actually, again, everything's in my brain, and sometimes the brain works well, and sometimes the look just isn't what it's supposed to be. Because, see, I'm already starting to overlap, but when I pick it up, they hang down nicer. And that's going to definitely take me up. Ooh, that might be about perfect, actually. And let me see here. It's going to come up just a bit, so let me put it back there. And right there. Well, that's where we just were. But I did pull up some because of that. Now, we were at 3/4, so if this works out, it's going to take us closer to the inch. So that was almost a 1/4 inch extra. So that might work out okay. You know, there is one thing I need to go still search for. All this depends on actually one ring that I haven't actually double checked to see if I have. But, well, if I had to put in an order, I don't know. TRL this past weekend updated the website, and now hopefully they've got some things to work out, but I currently hate it with a passion. It does go in line more like how other websites are, but that is actually one reason why a lot of my suppliers I don't go to, because let's say I'm doing a large inlay. I know I'm going to need 17,000 rings. I know I need them in 8 colors, but they're all the same size ring. They're all 1/4 inch ring. Their old site, you can go to the page, you find your 1/4 inch, and all the colors for 1/4 inch, the size you need are right there. You put in how many you need of each one in the box, add to the cart. Nice, simple, easy. You know, I need 12 bags of this, 5 bags of this, 7 bags of this, 8 bags of that. I just type in those numbers. Now I'm going to have to go find the color within the size. For each color, I'm going to have to go to a separate page to order them. It is going to be such a headache, and I have this ungodly feeling that I'm going to get something screwed up. Yeah. And I haven't totally went into it because so many things still aren't working right on their site. It drives me nuts. But all the useful information that I found useful is not there. You can kind of find out the AR, but it was nice before. It's like, here's 1/4 inch, here's the AR, here's how many millimeters is here, here's its decimal standard measurements. This is the size of wire. This is how many rings it takes to make a square foot. You know, there was a lot of nice information there. And this, I don't know if it's going to be added or not. Right now it's just gone. And it's nice to have all that. A lot of people might not like it. I personally like it. So that's going to put a big hamper in. And the other thing is, if it's right and they're not making any changes, prices have gone up dramatically. Which in turn means I've got to raise all my prices, which I don't want to do. I mean, I know it's going to happen. Inflation, prices go up, I get it, but some of them, I need to pull out and double check some things, but some of the prices have gone up way more than I would have expected for what I'm getting. Now, I don't mind paying the extra money from some of my suppliers that put in a little extra on the rings before you get them. If they cleaned them up and stuff. TRL, they never clean up any of their oils. You get them, you have to clean them. That was part of the trade-off on the price. But if the price has gone up and they're still sending out the same stuff they've been sending out, I think they're going to lose quite a few people. So, yeah, I'm not happy with their new website at all, in any way, shape, or form. That might change if they change some stuff, but as it stands now, I do not like it. It's going to take, you know, like I said, when I do a inlay order, I have all my counts out there. I know exactly what I need. They're all the same size ring, nice and easy. Go there. Everything's basically, I can see everything on one screen by scrolling. Everything in my 1/4 inch, all the colors, and I can just add in the boxes I need. I've got my paper here. It says how many rings of each I need. I know how many rings are per bag. Nice, simple. And now I'm going to have to hit, 12 different pages, and then make sure I didn't accidentally screw up by putting in the wrong one. I'm going to have to double check that. I mean, I kind of double checked that anyway, but yeah, it was much nicer for doing inlay orders. Now, maybe in a way, if I'm looking for specific things, if I'm making an order just to replenish, my stock loose rings, it probably will be a little bit in a way easier, but I don't normally just do that. Normally there's always, when I make an order, I'm normally making one large inlay order. Inside that I'll add others, but there's always normally one big project, a medium project, and then extra rings that I'll need for the upcoming project. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna take some getting used to for sure. There's things that they could have updated and that would have been perfectly fine. I would have been happy with, but some of the things they made changes to is just like, it's about like, what was it? Facebook? Was it Facebook? Somebody else made a big old change over here the last few days too, and just my brain went, duh, why do we keep... Sometimes it's like, I know you want to change it, you want to keep it fresh, when it gets old and stale, that's when people leave. But that ends up causing more problems than anything else. Well, there was the other Facebook issue. I run the alumni Facebook pages with a couple other alumni from our band, and since they've made all this meta changing bull cruddy and all the settings, now we've got random people showing up in our group. I have to go through, I keep trying to change the settings so you have to be approved and all this, but somehow those keep changing. So we just get people posting random things on there saying, come buy this shirt, and it is related to us, but it's not endorsed by our school or anything like this. This is a random person out of somewhere made up a shirt that resembles something that from our school, and it's like, it's just driving me nuts. It's like Facebook could have just left it fine the other way, but no, we got to keep changing it up. So let's see here. So I'm definitely getting more of a straight drop now. So the next one I think I needed to put in probably, thinking maybe 4 extra, if I'm at 21, maybe put in 4 or 5 contractions. Where am I at in my opening here? Just over 1, so that's actually working out pretty good. Pretty good here. And let's see, we're an hour and 12, so I probably need to go ahead and start closing up shop for tonight. So I do want to thank everybody for joining us. I hope you all enjoy your time here. If you ever have any questions or any comments on anything we do, feel free to drop me a line. More than happy to help anybody out when it comes to chainmail. I want chainmail to grow, so if you got any questions, if you got any ideas how to change up my stream, make it a little more happy, a little more fun, do a little more games or something, just let me know. Just trying to have a little fun here with y'all. So I do thank y'all. Tonight's Monday night. We'll be back on Wednesday night. That'll be small project night. I have an idea of what I'm going to do. It's definitely one that won't get completed during the stream because it's actually for another side project. But it's going to be doing just several kind of feetish of it in a way. So we'll see what happens anyway. Maybe I'll do something else. Don't know yet. But come back and check us out on Wednesday. So otherwise, I hope you all have a great week. Have a great Monday night. And we'll check you out then. Peace.